So we're ready? Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Ms. Moore,
Here.
Mr. Gillis,
Here.
Mr. Pollock,
Here.
Ms. Hughes,
She's here.
She's walking in the door
She's
now.
walking in.
Say here.
Sharon
Say here.
is absent. Here. Mr. Wright is absent. Mr. Lopez.
Here.
Thank you. If you haven't already turned your cell phones off, if you please check on and make sure they're off. First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the August 27 meeting. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Lopez, thank you. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll call the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll open the meeting up for public comment. Seeing no one here, we'll close public comment. We have no public meeting items. We have a public hearing on ordinance 1572, amendments to the LDC. May we hear from staff? And before you start, I'd like to announce and welcome our new Development Services Director, Teresa Carrera.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a request for the Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board to recommend approval of amendments to the Land Development Code, Article 6, Downtown Mixed-Use Regulations, specifically to Section 6.4, subsection O, and Table 6.16 relating to signs in the new downtown development and redevelopment districts. During the review of the residential project named the Hamptons at Oviedo on the Park, staff was faced with the impossibility of approving a freestanding sign as part of a townhome development. The Hamptons at Oviedo on the Park is a proposed 168-unit townhome development. The proposed development is located within the downtown mixed-use district, more specifically in the new downtown district. The applicant proposes to erect a 9-foot high, 14-square-foot freestanding sign as part of a townhome development. The Land Development Code, Section 6.4, New Downtown Development and Redevelopment Districts, governs the subject property. LDC Table 6.16, permitted signs, governs signs for the subject property and does not address freestanding signs or any other sign except for an awning sign for residential developments. LDC Section 6.406B prohibits signs and sign elements states that any sign type that is not specifically described or enumerated as permitted within a specific district is prohibited in that district. Considering that the residential use is a permitted use for the area, staff concluded that the Land Development Code, Section 6.4, subsection O, signs was deficient as to the kinds of signs allowed for residential use. Freestanding signs are permitted for multifamily residential development in the rest of the city, which is governed by the Land Development Code, Article 14, signs subsections 14.7, permanent on-site signs, residential multifamily. Staff is therefore proposing to add new standards to Article 6, Section 6.40, Table 6.16, to allow primary entrance residential signs in the new downtown development and redevelopment districts. Additionally, staff was also faced with the need to revise Section 6.40 signs as to other types of signs in order to bring consistency between what is allowed in the rest of the city and what is allowed in the new downtown development and redevelopment districts. The current development of Ouvido on the Park raised the awareness that some additional signs, such as construction signs, among others, were also missing from the list of permissible signs in Article 6. At its meeting on August 15, 2013, the DRC considered Ordinance Number 1572 and continued its consideration until August 26, with the following recommended changes. And here you have a list of 6 items that DRC recommended us to change, and they are mainly related to names that they wanted to change: construction site, replace construction site for development site, for instance, and they were not, they wanted to delete one one note in Table 6.16. It was really to increase readability of the code. The change proposed by Ordinance 1572 consists of the following: incorporation of standards to allow primary entrance residential signs in the new downtown development and redevelopment districts, revision of temporary signs incorporating standards to allow additional temporary signs such as construction signs, grand opening signs, homeowners association notice signs, A-frame signs, campaign free speech and real estate signs, and residential event signs. Removal of requirements as to sign illumination and neon lighting that are not feasible to be enforced. Removal of Section 6.405C, prohibited sign elements, to maintain consistency with the Land Development Code, Article 14, that relates to the sign code, and incorporation of DRC recommendations. It was agreed that all other suggestions offered by stakeholders from Ouvido on the Park, and we have here as an attachment to correspondence from 2 applicants, Mr. Dave Dexel and Mr. Tom Calviner. They proposed some changes for us to consider, but we decided that these will be analyzed during the comprehensive rewrite of the Land Development Code. So we welcome them, but we will discuss them later. Ordinance number 1572 was revised to incorporate all changes recommended by DRC. Future public hearings for the consideration of Ordinance 1572 are listed below. City Council will consider the ordinance as a first reading in public hearing on October 7th and adoption public hearing on October 21st. The City Attorneys reviewed Ordinance number 1572 and had no legal objections. There is no budget impact arising from the adoption of Ordinance number 1572. The recommended change in the City of Ouvido Land Development Code, Article 6, Section 6.4, subsection O in Table 6.16 reinforces the principles established by the Downtown Master Plan and therefore reinforces the community character strategic focus area established by the 2012 updated strategic plan for the City of Ouvido. It is recommended that the Planning, Zoning, and Appeals Board recommend adoption of Ordinance number 1572. And just to finalize, this was really a quick fix to problems that we identified with the construction of Ouvido on the Park. We are aware that Article 6 will have to be revised in its totality, and we'll do that with the Land Development Code rewrite. So we are open for questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions of staff? Seeing none, we'll open it up for public hearing. Is there anyone here wishing to speak to this item? Seeing no one here, we'll close public hearing. What's the board's pleasure? Do we have a motion to approve, a motion to deny, or to recommend approval or recommend denial?
Madam Chair,
Mr. Gillis?
I recommend approval of ordinance number 1572.
Okay. Do we have a second? Mr. Lopez? Is there any discussion? Okay, we'll call the question. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We don't have any discussion items listed. Does anyone have anything for the board to discuss at this time? Okay, we'll move on to the next item. Future meeting dates. Next week, September 24th, is a regular meeting, and we're also going to have the wrap-up of the Land Development Code as a work session. So we'll do the regular meeting and then adjourn to the work session. Tuesday, October 8th is a regular meeting, and October 22nd is a regular meeting. Does anyone have anything else?
In the next meeting on September 24th, that's the wrap-up session, or was it October 8th?
The
It was
24th.
the 24th? Yeah.
Yes.
I think there is one.
For October 8th?
Oh, October 8th, no. 24. Yeah, we have one for 24.
Actually, this is approval by the to pass through the RCA for consideration. Approval or denial, but it's services.
Okay.
Do we have any items for October?
None that we know of at this time, no.
Okay.
In
Is
the-
there anyone who knows now that they won't be present next week? No, next week.
Next week is the 24th.
24th. Pardon? Okay. Okay, if nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Are you sure?
I was thinking about it.
We stand adjourned.
Wanted to hang out.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
Okay, 13 minutes.
What's up, man?
Oh, because we ain't got Larry here.
I know.
You had a few questions.
Well, he spends half of it. He spends,
You know, we have just wore out this.
no, ever since the walking banana.
Is it a sign?